Record. All right, everybody, here we go. Happy Thursday. Hopefully you have yourself a decent space, okay? Today is a bit of an introduction day, and so just to kind of give you guys a rundown on how Strength and Flex or yoga will work throughout the year is on Mondays, we'll introduce new low poses. So today is going to be a big one because we're going to introduce a lot of poses, and then after that, we'll introduce 1 to 2 poses each week. On Tuesdays, we will be standing. So the camera will be at a different spot. We'll be in the living room doing standing poses, and we'll introduce new poses on Tuesdays for standing. So we do all low poses Monday, all standing poses on Tuesday. Thursday is kind of the full meal deal. We do high and low poses of ones we've already learned. And then Friday is more of a lower cool down day. So just, this class is routine. And I think I say this before, but if routine bugs you, this class is gonna bug you a lot because we do the same exact thing over and over and over and over again. Because with yoga or strength and flex, your daily practice of getting more flexible, working on your strength and conditioning, and mastering your poses requires a continuous practice. Like we talked about in the past couple days, I don't expect perfection. I don't expect you to become an expert. I just expect you to give me your best effort and try. Make sure you're hanging out the whole time. At the end, before I turn off the recording, I talk about our secret question. Then I shut down the recording, have a quick chat with you guys, and send you on your way. A lot of people get worried about their form. If your form's not perfect, it's okay. We have lots and lots of time to work on it. We'll be here together working on it, and we're gonna find hopefully some joy in your daily practice. Today will be a little bit more relaxed because it's our first couple poses. If you have taken the class before, think of this like a reset. This gives you a chance to get back to basics and working on just your daily practice of yoga and hopefully finding some relaxation. One of the big things we're going to talk about today is the mental side of this class. We're going to talk about some mindfulness practice. We're going to talk about some deep breathing. We're going to talk about some visualization. Again, not a religious class, so this is not a religious content. But the other piece is if it gets too hippy-dippy for you, if like the deep breathing and the visualization, all that isn't your jam, I totally understand. Just know that the more you can oxygenate your muscles, the more you breathe slowly, it can actually lower your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your stress levels. So if you don't want to do the visualization part, still do the breathing with us because it's going to benefit you. If you're willing to try the visualization, it'll benefit you a ton. So let's go. First pose that I want to introduce you to is our most basic pose. It's where we'll start most of our days, and it is called a seated pose. Think crisscross applesauce like when you're a little kid. So you're going to sit in a seated position, and the key here is you don't want to be hunched over and round down. You want a nice tall spine. Picture a string at the top of your head that's pulling your head towards the ceiling. We're going to roll the shoulders back, and you're going to hear me use the words nice strong chest a lot. It means our chest is up and out. We're not rolling those shoulders forward or compressing it in. This is working on having a straight spine. If I was sideways, you'd see that my back is up and down. And then I'm going to sit cross-legged. Where you put your hands is really up to you. I like to rest them on the knees. Sometimes you go up, you can do the full yoga if you really feel like it, but it's wherever you're comfortable with your hands. If you have knee or hip problems and sitting cross-legged is uncomfortable, straighten a leg out. Absolutely okay. We are able to modify the entire time we are doing our yoga practice here. So we're going to sit cross-legged, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. We start every day by focusing our breathing. And what this does is it attempts to clear distractions out of your mind. Hopefully your phone is put away, your TV's off, or you're in an environment where you have as little distractions as possible. And as you focus on your breathing, it's meant to bring you here into the moment. When we breathe, and I know I'm sure those of you who are taking B Lodge right now, we're talking about breathing way too much. But I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose. So it's a deep breath in. Fills your lung with oxygen. And as you take that breath in, we lift our spine and our head up. As you exhale out, relax your shoulders. Let them kind of sink and rest. And we feel that nice, tall spine. We'll talk about mantras more next week. But today I just want you to count. As you breathe that deep breath in your mind, I want you to think 1 and just focus on that number 1. Try to clear other thoughts out of your mind and just focus on 1. As you exhale out, I'd like you to also say 1, okay? This is just our intro breathing, and today we're just gonna start with 5. I want you to try to get to 5 uninterrupted breaths. And what I mean by uninterrupted is your thoughts don't wander off to something else. Now, this is a difficult practice. My thoughts wander constantly, but it's the goal of trying it and pushing to be perfect that we're pursuing. So 5 uninterrupted breaths. If you have a distraction or something happens around you, near you that causes it, it's okay. Note it, like, oh man, I'm being distracted right now. Then try to let it go and get back to your breathing number, okay? So find that comfortable spot. We'll do the first one together. So take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale out. Feel your shoulders, ribs, lungs relax. On your own, 5 uninterrupted breaths. As you get to the end of that 5th breath, and I'm going to physically turn myself on my mat. That doesn't mean you have to. Wherever you're practicing is just fine. You're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, I want you to roll the body forward, and you're going to place your palms onto the mat, okay? Our palms are going to be directly below our shoulders. Our knees are going to be right below our hips. The goal here is to create a flat back. I'm looking down at the ground between my hands, and I'm reaching the crown of my head forward. And I know this seems weird, but at the same time, I want you to reach your tailbone backwards. We are elongating the spine as we breathe. And you're just trying to make a long spine. A lot of us hunch our shoulders when we walk around. So we're trying to create a flat spine. We're reaching our tailbone back. We're reaching our head forward. My fingers are nice and wide apart. And I'm creating space between my belly button and the floor. And I do this by pulling my belly button nice and tight, like I'm trying to pull it to my spine, or flex your abs. Okay, and then my feet are back and my top of my feet are down. This pose is called table pose because you're making a tabletop. It is a base pose that we kind of refocus our breathing and get ready for our practice of yoga. So I just want you to hold table pose, and we're going to take 3 nice slow breaths. Each time you exhale, reach that spine a little bit farther. When you inhale, pull those abs nice and tight. Okay, on your next inhale, you're going to begin to round your spine up towards the ceiling. As you do this, tuck your head between your shoulders and bring your tailbone between your hips. So we're arching as hard as we can through the process of inhaling. So I'm going to take a big breath while I do it. As I hit the top of that big breath, I'm going to exhale. I'm going to press my belly button towards the mat, tilting my head and tailbone towards the ceiling. This process is called cat, where we round up on our inhale, cow as we exhale. So this is a movement pose. So I'm breathing in, cat, exhaling out, cow. So let's do 3 rotations, and you're trying to hit that peak of your inhale. So big breath in, and begin to exhale out, changing cow. That's 1. On your own, let's do 2 more. Find your rhythm with your breathing. One more. And exhale out. Good. Come back to neutral. While we're breathing in table, I want you to think about your own breathing and what we call transitions. So how you move in between poses. Do not feel the pressure or need to match me. It's whatever your breathing is and however you feel comfortable with your movements. This class is about you, and it's about what you want to get out of it. So find that rhythm and timing that's your rhythm and timing. Okay, you'll catch up with wherever we are, or you'll be a little bit ahead of me. That's totally okay. All right, for our next pose, you are gonna inhale, and we're gonna raise that right leg nice and behind us. Okay, you are gonna exhale, and we're gonna swing that right leg between the hands. Okay, my left foot is pointed straight back with my toe down. My knee is not out past my front toe, and I'm letting all the weight of my chest and my body rest right on top of that thigh. In a week or so, ideally, we're gonna be able to bring our hands behind us and press our hips down. But just for today, we're gonna keep our hands nice and low. So this arm is aligned with my leg, my other hand is in the ground. And I'm gonna let the weight of my chest and body rest down on my thigh. This pose is called low lunge, okay? Low lunge. Keep track of those names. Each time I exhale, I'm gonna press my hips down and forward a little bit more, increasing my stretch. You don't have to get crazy deep into it, but with each exhale, we sink a little lower. Then we're gonna breathe. We exhale, and we sink a little bit lower. This is Hatha style yoga, so nice and slow, where we hold the poses and we let gravity as well as slight pressure increase our stretch. Let's go 2 more breaths on your own. Inhale, we're gonna raise the hips just slightly. You're gonna exhale, and I'm gonna bring that right hand inside of my right leg. I'm actually gonna turn myself this way so you guys can see a little better. You don't have to turn with me. But what your alignment is looking like is my arm is perfectly aligned with my leg. I still have that left foot pointed back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press my hips down, and I'm gonna raise my chest up. If you're a person who has a block or your flexibility is struggling, this is a great pose to start with that block. Because the idea here is I'm pressing my hips forward to create a flat back. We call this pose lizard pose. If you don't have a block, it's totally okay. You can go fists, flat hands, wherever you feel comfortable. But as you exhale, raise that chest up, press those hips down. This is lizard pose. Don't forget to breathe. Feel the stretch in your hip flexor and your groin. Okay, inhale, walk that right hand back to the outside of the leg. Exhale, you're slightly gonna lean in your lunge. Now this one is a bunch of combination movements. Inhale, raise the hips and roll the spine up. I know my head's gonna go out of the camera, but that's kind of how it works in low poses. You're gonna bring your hands nice and high above your head. Notice my foot is still in that lunge position. My left foot's still behind me. Exhale your hands down, sink your hips forward, and we're gonna hold our next pose, which is low warrior 1. Warrior 1 is a power pose. It draws energy from our body by working on our hip flexors, our quads, our hamstring, as well as our spine. If you're rounded down and you're holding here, you're not getting the full benefit of warrior 1. It's a nice tall chest with our shoulders rolled back. We're facing our chest forward, and we're taking good breaths, filling our lungs with oxygen. If you don't want to hold your hands out in front, you don't have to. They could be next to you, they could be rested on your side, interlaced. It's just however you feel comfortable. With each exhale, you're gonna sink just a little bit more into your pose. Low warrior 1. Breathe. Inhale, raise the hips up. As you exhale, you're gonna open your left arm back behind you with your left leg, and your right arm is gonna go flat and forward. And then we're gonna sink those hips back down into low warrior 2. The big key in low warrior 2 is opening that left shoulder up. Some people will be here, and I know it's hard to see on the computer, but my chest isn't facing out and away. Here he goes. He's a real tough guard dog. Here he goes. Go, go, go. Sorry, everybody. So, turning that left shoulder. Enough. Turning that left shoulder out. We're really focusing on open up the left shoulder, keeping the spine tall. This is low warrior 2. Our eyes are going to go the same direction as our chest. Exhale and sink a little more. Inhale, raise your hips. Exhale, you're gonna pivot the body back to the middle, and you're gonna fold back down like you're in low lunge. Now, Tuck that left foot so my toes are pressing against the mat, rug, floor, whatever you're at. You're gonna inhale, raise that knee. Exhale, slide your right foot back, and you're gonna find yourself in a very familiar position known as plank pose, okay? Nice flat back, my eyes are looking down between my hands. I've got my abs locked and I'm engaging them, and we're just gonna hold. Modification, if it's hard for you to hold plank, you can go to your knees, but this is not a plank from your knees. This is nothing. You need to walk your hands forward and press your hips down so you're actually engaging your abdominals, okay? Plank pose. Raise the hips up, take a big breath in, point your elbows in. So instead of elbows being out, lock those elbows in nice and tight, and then exhale, lowering the body down. We call this crocodile. When you get close to the ground, inhale, press the spine up by rolling it, okay? And I'm gonna push my hips into the mat. You can adjust your hands if needed, and we're gonna just round that spine, holding the chest up, and this is called Cobra pose. You tilt the head back a little bit. It should really help you flex that lower lumbar. Breathe. Refocus through your distraction. I apologize for that dumb dog. One more good breath in Cobra. Inhale, raise the hips up. Draw the knees in just slightly, widen the fingers, and find yourself in table pose. Let's take 3 good calming breaths in table. Okay. I'm gonna physically turn myself on my mat for demonstration. You do not have to. On your own, let's go back to cat and cow. 3 rotations of cat and cow, trying to transition with our breathing. Peak inhale, exhale, rotate, till we're all the way through our exhale. Cat and cow. One more. And come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Exhale, swing that left leg forward between the hands. Slide that right foot back just slightly and let the weight of your chest rest on your thigh. Low lunge. Breathe. Inhale, walk that left hand to the inside. Again, for demonstration, my arm is aligned with my leg. Exhale, raise the chest up, press the hips down, low lizard. Inhale, bring that left hand to the outside. Exhale, slight lean. Inhale, raise the hips, roll the spine up, bring the arms nice and high above the head. Exhale, sink hips down, lower the hands, low warrior 1. One of the things to check is how straight is that extended leg behind. Oftentimes it'll tuck in. Do your best to adjust your positioning, open up that right leg, and have a nice square chest. Breathe. Inhale, raise the hips up. Exhale, now we're gonna open our right arm back, our left arm forward, sink hips down. You'll notice you tend to lean forward. Try to adjust that body so the spine is nice and straight. Adjust that right leg if it will, and then really open up that right shoulder to help your hip open up as well. Eyes are facing the same direction as your chest. Low warrior 2. Breathe. Inhale, raise the hips. Exhale, pivot back to the middle. Fold back down. Inhale, tuck the right toe. Exhale, raise the knee. Slide that left foot back. And let's find ourselves again in plank. Breathe. Modify if you need. Inhale, raise the hips slightly. Elbows tight. Exhale, crocodile. Inhale. Press the spine up into Cobra. Breathe. Inhale, raise the hips up. Find yourself in table pose. Nice flat spine. Reach the head forward, tailbone back. New pose. Exhale, you're gonna bring the feet together so my heels or the palms of my feet are touching. And I'm gonna widen my knees out. Go as far apart as you are comfortable. This is a great stretch for your groin. I'm gonna walk my hands slightly forward. I'm gonna exhale and I'm pressing with my palms, pushing my glutes, that's your butt, back to your heels. Once you feel that it's gone back as far as you can comfortably go, you want to try to lower the body down like you're trying to put your armpits on the mat. Unlike when we're at school, hopefully you're okay with putting your face on the mat or floor or wherever you're at. And we're trying to get the chest and armpits down to the mat while pushing our heel or our glutes back to our heels. This pose is called arms extended child. And if you're a person who has tight hip flexors, this pose is going to be your best friend. Breathe. Inhale, raise the hips back up like we're coming back up to table. Exhale, cross your ankles behind you, walk your hands back, roll the hips to where you find yourself in seated pose. Okay? We're gonna take a deep breath in, sit that spine up nice and tall. As you exhale out of seated pose, I want you to straighten your right leg. Keeping, and I'm gonna turn myself a little bit so we can see for demonstration here. Keeping that left foot as tight as you can to the right knee and keeping that right leg straight. We're gonna inhale, nice tall spine. We're gonna bring our arm in a big full circle. When the arm gets to the top, we're gonna begin to exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to reach your chest up like you're trying to dive into a pool. Reach that arm way forward and fold at the hips. Okay, so we're gonna come back this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Big mistake people make on their half fold, which is the pose we're gonna do, is they go with that arm circle and then they flop themselves over. You're not giving yourself any stretch. I watch people do it all the time in class. It's not gonna help, okay? You want a big arm circle with a straight spine. Reach that chest out and forward. My spine's still straight because I'm rotating at the hip. And then once I can't do it anymore, then I'm gonna round the body down and I'm gonna grab my foot. Now, if you can't get your foot, it's okay. You can go shin, knee, ankle. What I want though is you're putting an effort into your stretch where you're feeling it in your hamstring. We're gonna do a static hold, meaning you're not gonna bounce. We're gonna take that big breath. We're gonna reach, exhale, lower down, grab the foot. A lot of you may have your heads up like this, okay? If you want to increase your stretch, lower your head down next to your shoulder. You will feel it in your hamstring. Hold, half, fold. Take a breath in, raise the body up slightly. Exhale, try to get a little lower if you can. Feel all those ligaments, hamstrings, elongate and feel that good stretch. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, roll the spine up. Exhale, switch your feet, extending the left leg out, the right leg is up. Inhale, big arm circle. Reach nice and high. Exhale, diving the body forward into half fold. You want to put the other hand out next to you, ankle,
wherever you feel comfortable with that second hand. Breathe and hold. With each exhale, try to get a little lower. Inhale, slight raise. Exhale, both hands out. Grab that foot. Half fold. Inhale, roll the spine up.
Exhale, straighten both legs out in front of you. Perfect. Okay, I think you probably all know what's coming. Inhale, big arm circle. Think diving in the pool. Reach that chest nice and high. Reach it out like you're trying to take your chest out to your toes.
Grab the feet. Drop the head between your shoulders. And you're going to hold full fold. Inhale, roll the spine up.
As you exhale, I want you to draw your feet into the body, placing the bottoms of your feet together and getting your heels nice and close. Okay, many of you know this stretch. Hopefully you've done it at some point in your life. This pose is called butterfly. What I want us to do today is you're going to place your hands underneath your feet. You're going to inhale a nice, tall, strong spine. So nice and straight like we did when we were doing our full fold. Okay. And you're going to exhale, we're going to reach that chest out and forward, okay? So we're not just slouching our shoulders and bending over, because that doesn't stretch anything. So reach that chest out, fold at the hips, place the elbows against your calves or your shins, and apply a little bit of pressure with your elbows and pull against your feet. Reach that chest forward a little bit more. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Reach that chest forward. And if you can,
exhale, lower down a little bit more. This is called folded butterfly.
And I'm actually going to turn myself so we can get a little side view too.
Inhale.
Roll that spine back up. I'm going to have you exhale, raise your hands up, okay? You're going to stack your fingers and point your thumbs up at the ceiling. I'm going to scoot forward here just a little bit. Take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders forward. So instead of back, I want you to keep your arms straight, roll them forward, which is going to slightly round that upper spine. And now as you exhale, we're going to begin to roll the body back, okay? Now, if you need to put your hands down and assist yourself in coming all the way to the ground, totally okay. Excuse me. If you can, keep those hands up and begin to roll your spine down your mat, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, or your spine bones. However you can roll that spine down nice and slow, it keeps the abs engaged, and we lay ourselves, keeping our feet in the butterfly, all the way down, and we allow our palms to come to rest, face up. Deep breath in, pull those heels even closer if you can. And this pose is called laying butterfly. Today and tomorrow as we practice laying butterfly, we're just gonna let gravity pull against our knees and open up our hip flexors and our groin. Eventually we're gonna talk about applying a little bit more pressure, but not today. We're just gonna take 3 slow, deep breaths, calming our breathing, refocusing our mind, finding ourselves in our laying positions, feeling our body stretch. Okay, I want you to exhale and straighten your feet out in front and find yourself in a fully laying position. Inhale, raise your right leg. Take your hands, either wrap them around your knee or if you can, knee and ankle. You're gonna exhale and you're gonna squeeze that knee to the chest. It's like you're trying to put your knee into your armpit.
We're just gonna hold with some pressure against that leg. This pose is called half Windmaker. Okay, it's gonna get a great stretch in your hip, as well as it increases your digestion. So yes, it is named Windmaker for a reason. Breathe. Okay, exhale, release some of that pressure. Place your left hand on your knee. Inhale, reach your right hand as far out to the side as you can. Keeping our leg bent at about a 90-degree angle. You're gonna exhale, you're gonna draw that knee across the body, but our right foot is gonna keep pointing away. So I point my toe, I draw my knee, and I turn my eyes to physically look at my right hand. This pose is called bent knee twist. The goal is to keep your shoulder blades on the mat. So if you're all raised up, doing it wrong. If you can only get to this point before your shoulder blades start to come up, great. I would rather have your knee be up high and your back be on the floor than have your shoulders off. This is supposed to stretch your spine all the way down towards your sacrum and your pelvic gaps. If you're able to get your knee all the way to the floor, pull that knee up to the chest to increase your stretch. Bent knee twist. Inhale that knee back up. Exhale, extend that right foot out in front. Inhale, raise the left leg, same thing. Wrap your hands around your knee, shin, ankle, wherever you're comfortable, and squeeze that knee to the chest. Half Windmaker. Release your grip slightly, bring that knee to 90, keeping the right hand on the knee. Inhale, reach that left hand out to the side. Turn your eyes to gaze the left hand. Exhale, point your right toe away. Draw that knee across the body. Keep my shoulder blades on the mat. Again, if you're coming up off your blade, put it back down. We're gonna hold bent knee twist. Hopefully you feel that in your spine. Ooh, that's a great stretch. Inhale back up to the middle. Exhale, just slightly relax that knee. Inhale, you're gonna raise both knees up. Wrap your hands around the outside of your knees. I like to go one hand across my knees, the other hand across my lower body. And you're gonna squeeze those knees nice and tight to your chest. And you're just gonna rock front to back just slightly. This pose is called full Windmaker. It's gonna fully increase your digestion, helps with your gut health, and it just feels good to give yourself a nice big hug. Big squeeze, and then exhale, extend your feet out in front, lower your spine down to the mat, and allow your hands to come to rest on the mat, facing up or flat in a comfortable position. I'm gonna ask that you try to just keep your hands down on the mat. Some people will cross them. If we're in class, I've noticed people roll around like onto their bellies or whatever during relaxation time. At least here in the distance learning, try to truly do the relaxation pose in this position. Every day we spend some time in relaxation pose, working on our visualization. And what I mean by this is you're slowing down your breathing. We're gonna practice a little visualizing of our stresses leaving our body. The way I like to explain this is as you take a deep breath in through your nose, I want you to focus all your thoughts on something positive, something that brings you joy, something that brings you happiness, something you're looking forward to, something that lightens up your world. And I want you to try and fill your brain or your mind with thoughts about whatever that is. As you exhale out your mouth, I want you to visualize whatever is stressing you out right now. So whatever's causing weight on you, whatever, something you're not looking forward to, something that's making you angry, sad, stressed, is causing anxiety in your life, whatever that may be, I want you to visualize it leaving your body as you let your breath out. And the key here is you are going to give yourself permission for the next 5 minutes to not worry about that stress, okay? It doesn't mean that stress won't come back. It doesn't mean that you won't have to deal with that emotion, but learning how to control our stress and give ourselves permission. Let yourself know it is okay to let go of that stress for just a little while allows us to spend time focusing on the positive and focusing on our mindfulness. You're gonna be distracted. Something's gonna come along, you're gonna hear something from me, you're gonna hear something in your house. Same as when we're doing our warm-up breathing. Note that distraction and try to bring your thoughts back to positive. Now, if positive thoughts and visualizing stresses leaving your body is too hippy-dippy for you, again, I understand. Still continue to do the deep breathing. This is gonna oxygenate your blood, which is gonna make it so your muscles are working faster and recovering better. Slow, deep breaths has been scientifically proven to lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, reduce anxiety, and reduce stress. So simply, if you're just counting your breaths and breathing out, this 5 minutes is going to benefit you not only physically, but it's going to have mental benefits as well. Try to stay present in the moment. Try not to get distracted in your thoughts. Most importantly, breathe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're at in your mindfulness practice, go ahead and start to slowly open your eyes. Inhale, roll that spine up, come up into a seated position. Take one more good breath in. And know that you just did your first round of your daily yoga practice. Namaste, everyone. My soul sees yours. I hope that was okay today. We will continue this more. Don't go anywhere yet. We do have a little bit more, but I do daily affirmations, meaning something that I just need to thank is all of you. I know this distance learning thing isn't fun. I immensely miss being in classrooms with you guys, and I miss being around you, but I am just thankful that you're here with me. I still see 29 people in the group. Hopefully you did the practice or you found something that you enjoyed. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for the ability to continue to work with you guys and be around you, and just for letting my world be a little bit part of yours. So I am so excited for another quarter of doing yoga. This class is super rad already, and I appreciate you guys being here and being with me. So thank you so much. If you were not live with us today, I absolutely missed you. You should really think about joining us. If you were live, perfect. You were here. You don't even need to worry about checking the YouTube channel. Our secret question of the day. So I'll always ask the secret question somewhere during our practice. Today's just going to be at the end. But our secret question of the day is, I want you to start to think about what is your distractions, okay? And this part of that mindfulness practice in yoga is clearing our minds out, okay? So what are your distractions? Mine, for example, is the dog. Obviously, he is a very big distraction. My other distraction is constantly trying to check my form in the computer screen, or seeing if somebody is here or not here. So just keeping like the teacher stuff going. So as soon as I stop this recording, which I'll tell you guys what I'm doing, in the chat, which I'm pointing because it's right there on my screen, you're just going to type whatever your distraction is, and that is your exit ticket. It's one of those 3 things you need to pass class. Remember, do your discussion question every day, show up, do attendance, and practice with me, and then do your exit question. Really not that challenging, but it's that simple. So we're going to go ahead right now. Namaste, my soul sees yours. For those of you who weren't here, wear your masks, and of course, smile and be nice to somebody.